right, well, good morning once again, and thank you all so much for being here. Wanting to keep moving forward with our Wednesday briefings. And as I always do, I just give you some topics that I wanted to just share about, and then go right into questions and answers. So as I also always do, I start with public safety. And year-to-date stats using preliminary data always from the New Orleans Police Department through October 28th, comparing 2023 to 2022. Again, we continue to show and see steady progress. Total crimes against persons remain down at 20%. Murders are down 26%. Armed robberies remain down at 34%. Non-fatal shooting incidents are down 17%. Non-fatal shooting victims remain down 18%, with carjackings continuance down at 45%. Looking at crime stats from last October compared to this year also reflects, again, progress made in reducing both violent crimes and property crimes throughout the city of New Orleans. The New Orleans Police Department preliminary data also shows from October the 1st through the 28th, from 2022 to 2023, shows total crimes against persons are down 24%, murder down 29%, armed robbery is down 46%, carjackings 50%, vehicular burglaries 50% down. There were also no homicides during the week of October 22nd through the 28th. NOPD has seized over 2,351 firearms as of October the 28th of this year, compared to 2,256 at this time on last year, representing a 4.2% increase. Again, progress. Very excited about recruit class 198. Graduated with 19 recruits, officially men and women of the New Orleans Police Department, Friday, October 27th. And since May of 2018, my 17th class, a total of 340 recruits. Class 199 is set to graduate early next year, currently with 25 recruits. This year, the New Orleans Police Department, as you know, created over 148 new civilian positions, and 103 of these positions have been hired since October 30th. Again, easing of the burden and just creating added support in areas of civilization, and again, protecting our officers on the ground, giving them the support and tools that they need to protect us. And so that, again, doesn't mean that we have gone without any acts of crime or violence in our community. We continue to make sure that this is a top priority, and working in collaboration with all law enforcement partners and agencies, and we will continue to do just that. I wanted to touch on the wetlands fire. I know that you all have been monitoring that, as well as, of course, the city of New Orleans. And you know that this is in partnership with the Office of Homeland Security, Emergency Preparedness, of course, the Sewage and Water Board of New Orleans, the Department of Transportation, of course, the State Department of Homeland Security, as well as the National Weather Service, and, of course, you know, our partners with wildlife and fisheries. The active wetlands fire just continues to be burning underground, again in and on private property between Bayou Sauvage National Urban Wildlife Refuge, as well as Michoud Canal. And due to the extreme dry conditions just statewide and throughout the year, the state fire marshal issued a statewide burn ban in August of this year, 2023. State officials, again, have noticed a decrease in wildfire statewide. However, the focus is on this in our community. As a reminder, open fires are prohibited by law, and at all times in and throughout the city of New Orleans. The fire department, and of course with the property owner of the Louisiana Department of Agriculture and Forestry, they have heavy equipment deployed to clear and stabilize access routes to and for the firefighters. This is also in coordination with our partners, as I mentioned previously. The Sewage and Water Board, in terms of our facility maintenance department, we're currently utilizing 3 pumps to pump drainage water into impacted areas. And as you know, this is really burning below. It's from above the surface, and it has little to no effect in terms of extinguishing the fire, in terms of what's happening again underground. But we'll continue to monitor. I hope to do another flyover within the next week or so. I wanted to touch on just 2 more matters, one being our homeless encampments. We have just seen continuous progress being delivered by leadership of the office that we've stood up, the Office of Homeless Services and Strategy. As you know, we entered into a professional contract, service agreement, contract with Clutch Consulting. And this consulting group is working with our offices to deliver and implement a strategic plan that, again, that will be robust in regards to bringing in all partners in our planning efforts, and more importantly, in our efforts of execution. And we're just seeing progress in the resources that we've deployed. We're getting results, and we'll continue to do that. A major part of this plan is really decommissioning our homeless encampments throughout the city of New Orleans in a more targeted approach, and as we look to a direct to housing approach, meeting people where they are always, dignifying them with our response, and of course always with respect. And we're utilizing and putting to work again dollars that we've been able to secure through HUD directly, as well as indirectly, like with partners like Unity, with the $15 million securing that award to house 420 of our unsheltered residents and citizens in the city of New Orleans. Since October, we've been able to successfully house 17 people. And of course, with the remainder of individuals being our priority and expected to reach them by the end of this month, November. And of course, our plans will continue, will shift from one encampment to the next relative to our decommissioning strategy. We're not letting you know where nor when, and that is again a part of our strategy and plan, and as it's aligned with our dignified and respectful approach to our unsheltered and unhoused residents. We do believe in a holistic approach as well. Again, and you'll always hear me say meeting them where they are, our people, and that's with resources as well. We have set an ambitious goal, I will say, of dealing with all of our encampments and really activating over 1,500 individuals, connecting them to housing by the end of 2025, being very practical, being very upfront about our strategies, but again, our intentions, meeting folks where they are, getting them to resources, a rapid and a wraparound approach to keeping them off the street, but keeping them nestled with the complements that they need to have a successful bounce back and a successful life. Again, we know that the best is yet to come, and we're working hard every single day at every level to provide our residents with resources. Turning to something that I'm so excited about, and I've been talking about, but very happy that the hard work of our administration is paying off, not just going after resources, one-time money, but getting those resources activated. And so I'm very thankful to $7 million that the New Orleans City Council allocated towards creating a recreation and cultural fund for the city of New Orleans. The council allocated this money almost 2 years ago, but it is putting it to work, and we're all collectively excited about the rollout. The Greater New Orleans Foundation will be the stewards of the grant awarding process, and the process from start to finish. We're just making strides again to uphold that commitment to our cultural community, our musicians, our artists, our cultural organizations, nonprofits, small businesses, local businesses, at every single level, those providing recreational services that are not just about sports, and a lot of after-school programming really falls into these categories as well. So I am encouraging all of our partners, this is your time to apply. And I've done some direct outreach to organizations that I've been talking to over the past several months, whether that's Anthony Bean with his theater, B. Mike, Alvin Kamara. I mean, it really goes on and on with the partners that want to activate programming, but activate resources to connect them to the programming and further deepening the saturation throughout our community where the needs are. So I'm very excited. Applications will be received and reviewed by GNOF through November the 17th, and grant awards will be notified by December 2023. So again, apply today, gnof.org. And again, just encouraging all to apply. $7 million is a lot of money. And this is an opportunity to go deep. And these dollars are even on deadline. So this is, again, another way and another leverage of one-time money to meet our people where they are in areas that have been deemed a priority by the community directly. On a separate note, the New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Fund has partnered with New Orleans Public Schools. And again, this is also in a way to support our schools through art education, art programming, again, on the ground with our school community. The New Orleans Tourism and Cultural Fund has awarded approximately $376,000 to support 29 cultural arts curriculums citywide. And this is something happening right now. Again, putting resources to work. And this is for the 2023-24 school year. So again, right now. They are in the process of approving and notifying schools as we speak. So schools, the 29, will get their notice. They're all doing great work. And again, we'll be able to go even deeper. The goal was to support youth initiatives in the amount of $250,000. So of course, moving well beyond that at this particular time. So with that, John, I'm gonna turn it over to you. You'll get me through questions, and then I'll take, I'll make the answers, and we'll be done. And I'm gonna take some water.
Thank you, John. Good morning, Mayor. What do you think about the governor-elect forming a transition committee specifically on New Orleans? Do you think that our city is a priority for him?
Well, what I will say that Governor-elect has made it a priority to engage, as you mentioned, specifically on the city of New Orleans. For me, it's an indicator that our Governor-elect understands what New Orleans means, not only to ourselves, but to the state of Louisiana. I'm hopeful, and I don't think, great things come from collaborating. And I think this is a step in the right direction. The city of New Orleans remains open and very excited to work with Governor-elect Landry.
WWO, did you have a question?
No.
Yeah.
Has Governor-elect consulted you on that committee, either on its membership or its policy agenda or any other aspect?
No, not at this time. Not at this time, but at any point, the governor reaches out. Of course, I do as well. It will be met with a spirit of cooperation and wanting to do the best for the city of New Orleans, and that being also the state of Louisiana.
Do you have any opinions on what they should be focusing
I think, all things New Orleans. And so we'll come together. I think that is the spirit of collaboration, and I believe the spirit of him being very focused on the city of New Orleans. And I think an opportunity to listen from all stakeholders, including my administration being one of the stakeholders, collaboratively focused on the well-being and care of our city.
WGNO?
Going back to the homeless encampments and how you guys are moving them into apartments, what's the next steps once they move in? Is there a timeline on how long they can stay in the apartment?
Well, our whole goal here is to ensure that our people are not only housed, but they're met with the resources that they need, which every individual is unique. Their stories are different. But it is our work and our priority to understand those stories and therefore meet our people with the resources that they need, hand-holding through a process so that they can be sustained in the progress that we've been able to shepherd them towards and through. That's our goal.
All right, thank you all.
Okay, thank you so much.
As well, Madam Mayor, about the committee.
Sorry, you done?
Yes.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you so much.
Madam Mayor,
Thank you all.